The long-awaited trip to the doll store in Chicago had finally arrived. My daughter begged us to take her to the store the moment we arrived to our hotel. "Can we go now, Mommy? Please, please, please." She gave her dad that typical big sheepy eye look which always makes him cave. But I promised her we would eventually make it to the doll store. A couple days later, into our 4-day weekend trip, we walk into the massive display of dolls, clothes, and accessories, with my daughter unable to control her excitement. She had her heart set on picking out her look-alike doll. She made it known to every salesperson she came across and everyone else around her. She carefully scanned the glass case to find the perfect doll. She read the description of each doll to find the one that best described her. The combination of the hair and the style, the eye color, the skin color had to perfectly match her. My daughter, that is, but no easy task. As she looked at each doll, chatting about the one that looked the most like her, another little girl shopping with her mother and sister was looking for her look-alike doll. They heard our conversation as clearly as we heard their conversation as we stood next to each other in front of the same doll cases. Just as my daughter decided on her perfect look-alike doll, the little girl pointed to the same doll. And just as she did, the girl's mother blurted out, "Don't pick that doll, it's the ugliest one in the case." I looked at my daughter's face and my heart sank. I quickly glanced at the other little girl and she had an even deeper deflated look on her face. I felt my heart beating and my face heating up. It took every ounce of my Christian self not to look at that woman straight in the eyes and say, "Hey lady, why don't you take a spin around and look in the mirror? Clearly the ugliest thing in the store is looking back at you." I knew causing a scene was not the thing to do. I knew it wasn't a good idea to even take on this lady in front of our kids. Instead, I turned to my daughter, told her the doll was adorable and how it looked just as pretty as she did. And I then watched her run to the register while calling out her dad's name so he could follow her and of course pay for it. Some people are raising kids with such parental ignorance. Yes, there are times and places to point out such discretions. That was not the time or the place, or at least I could not think of the appropriate Christian comment at that moment because anger had taken a hold of me. So I chose to redirect the conversation and not address the woman at all. Sometimes all we can do is pray for the ignorant parents and the children they are entrusted to guide. This has been a Christ-Centered Communication message. I'm Vanessa Denha-Garmo, a communications evangelist.